Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Create with Brenda. I'm Brenda Hillard, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I have a couple of things for you. We'll be doing some techniques, some tricks. I don't really mean tricks, maybe tips is a better word. And I have a new monthly host code, which is right here. And this month, when you place a minimum $50 order, you will receive one of the Simply Chamois stamp cleaning pads from me. They're really handy. If you don't have one, you will be sure to want to add that to your tools. It can be found in the 2020-2021 annual catalog. And speaking of annual catalogs, oh my gosh, you guys, the pre-order for the new annual catalog starts on April 1st. So less than a month away, which means that we will be saying goodbye to some of our favorite products out of the annual catalog. And today I'm going to be working with a few of those items out of the annual catalog just to, I guess it's a good combination of both the annual and the JJ Mini. So let me start by saying that the products I'm going to use today is going to be the See the Good stamp set. I think this stamp set is really overlooked in the catalog. It is rubber stamps, and it is an 8 stamp set, but the font and the sayings on this are just awesome. And today the theme for my cards is going to be just kind of being thoughtful and reminding our friends and family that how good they are to us and how good it is to have them in our life. So the stamp I'm going to be using out of this set is When I See the Good in the World, I See You. And I think that's awesome. The next stamp set, and the only thing I'm going to be using out of the Sweet Strawberry is this Thank You. And this is a photopolymer set, meaning you can see through. They aren't the red rubber, they're the clear. I'm going to be using, now I know this looks like a lot of product, and it kind of is, but I want to show you a little tip or trick using the border die from the scalloped border die from the Ornate Borders. And then I'm going to be using the stitch shapes and the layering circle dies. Now, you don't have to have dies, and I'll show you some samples of the card using other things. You can use punches, you can cut your own rectangles, you can, whatever you have in your stamping arsenal. I did, however, use the second to the largest stitch shapes framelit, the circle. And then I also used the, you know how you have the 2 sets of circles? I used the largest, but I guess if you really layered them out, it would be like the second largest circle for my mat for the stitch circle. So I'll show you that in just a minute. But I wanted to give you a chance to see the products I'm using. I'll be using the Gorgeous Grape Classic Stampin' Pad. I'm going to use the tricolor ribbon, and I have the pastel pearls, and then I'm also going to be using just some of our pearl basic jewels too. So that's our product. Here's that scallop die I was telling you about, and I'm going to do a little test here. So I'm going to bring in my mini. If you don't have a mini, you're going to want a mini because they just are so nice. And like you can see, I can just bring it in and there it is, done. So is what I'm going to demonstrate for you right now is I have this piece of basic white, and it's the thick cardstock that I'm using for this demonstration. I'm going to come in just a little bit so you can see the tray better. So is what I want to do is I'm going to lay down, this is just simply a dryer sheet, okay? And I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to put my piece of cardstock on there. I only want one thickness too, so I'm just going to rip this. I don't know why, you guys, but I love the smell of dryer sheets. They're just so good. And I know some people find them really wicked and too strong or smelly, but I love them. Okay, so I laid down on my cutting plate. I have the dryer sheet. I have my piece of basic white. It's the thick cardstock. And then I'm going to take my ornate border, and I'm just going to lay that down here. And I want to make sure that the edges here are fairly even because I'm going to use it as a border piece on our project for today. So I'm going to run this through. Okay. Ooh, that was a big noise. And I'm just going to set that to the side. Then is what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my cutting plates back in. I'm going to lay another, oh, you know what? I can't do that. Sorry. Here's what I wanted to show you with this. So when I lift off the die, right? I'm going to zoom in even a little more. And then when I lift up my piece of edging here, do you see what's happening? All of these little pieces stick to the dryer sheet, so it makes it very simple for me to just clean this up to be able to use it on my card by just simply, now there's a roller brush end that you can put on take your pick tool. Whoops, wrong end, sorry. So you take out the putty end, and this just screws in like that. And then I could just go across here with that roller brush, and it cleans all those little pieces out of there for me. Now, maybe let me show you this. So without the dryer sheet, if I were to bring back in the mini, so I've got my cutting platform, my plate. I'm going to put my die on there. My cutting plate. And now remember, I'm demonstrating without the dryer sheet. I have new cutting plates ordered for my mini. I use it so much. My plates are kind of getting to end of life, so they're a little bit warped and it makes it hard to keep things even. But let me show you this now. I'm just going to fold this up because we're done cutting. All right, so when I take this out, do you see how many of them are stuck in there compared to when I use the dryer sheet and they just literally stuck right on the dryer sheet? I still can just wheel across, you know, with my take your pick, you know, the die brush, and they come out. But to me, and I don't know, you be the judge, but to me, it takes a lot longer to clean this up, and so I've become a fan of the dryer sheet. So there's another border piece for us. But I love this scalloped. It's really, really, what what do I want to say? Dainty is the word that comes to mind for that. So there it is. The die brush adapter for your take your pick tool that just fits right in the putty end. And then using the dryer sheet when you're die cutting small pieces. All right, let's bring in the paper I'm going to use today for the project is this. I have to go back out. Whoops. There. Is the Hydrangea Hill. This paper, if you haven't experienced it, is gorgeous. I did not personally purchase the dies or the stamp set, but I couldn't resist the paper and the pastel pearls. So I hope you'll check that out, and I really think you'll like it as much as I do. The colors coordinate so well, and it's just really a fun paper. So here's our project pieces. You guys, this is a lot of pieces, and I don't know why, because the card or the project that we're making just really doesn't look like it's that, you know. But here's what I have for us that we're going to make today, and then stay tuned to the end because I have some more with different sentiments that will hopefully inspire you to try this card and use what you have. All right, so what do you think? Pretty, huh? And then on the inside, I just have a thank you. Sometimes it's just nice to hear thank you from people, isn't it? And then, of course, you know me and my famous slogan, no naked envelopes here at Create with Brenda. So all I did was just fancy up the envelope by adding some designer series paper to the flap of the envelope, and it's very easy to do. I've done that or demonstrated that in previous videos. But so there's our project. All right, is what you're going to need for today's project is your card base, and I chose the Seaside Spray, and it measures 8.5. I'm sorry, this is wrong. It measures 5.5. Let's correct that right now. It measures 5.5 by 11, scored. You guys, I still don't have this right. How many times do you do card bases and what? It's 4.25 inch by 11, scored at 5.5. And it's what it is it's a tent fold card, meaning when I fold it, you can use it in this orientation, or you can use it in this orientation. And I'll show you samples at the end in both orientations, okay? All right. So what I want to do is set my card base to the side. You're going to need a piece of basic white, and I chose the thick as I showed you when I was die cutting, and this piece measures 3 3/4 by 1 inch, and that's what I have here that I die cut. So I'm not going to re-die cut again. We'll just use this one. I have a piece, and these are scrap pieces from when you cut your designer series paper, but this one measures 3/4 by 4 inches. This one measures 1 by 4 1/4. And then here are the circles that I talked about. We've got the basic white, the stitched circle, and we have the Gorgeous Grape. And that's just the smooth edge circle to mat. I have a piece of designer series paper that measures 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. And I have another coordinating piece of designer series paper that measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You're going to need 2 pieces of basic white that measure 4 by 5 1/4. One is going to be the mat for the front of the card. One is going to be the insert for inside the card. All right, assembly goes pretty quick on this one. So first of all is what I want to do is with our designer series paper, it's perfectly square, the 3 3/4 square. So I'm going to take my stamping seal and I'm just going to put some adhesive right on the edge there. And then I'll bring in my scalloped piece here, and you can see that I had this cut a little bit longer. But if you, in the beginning, use a 1 inch by 3 3/4 inch piece, you won't have to do this step of trimming the edge. So all I'm going to do is just right along the edge here, just trim it off. Okay, so here's that. Then we're going to bring in our little piece of designer series paper. And again, I'm going to add some seal. And I'm going to bring in our mat. And I'm just going to lay this down so that I have equal borders here and here, okay? Add some more seal. And then we'll again lay that down so that our borders are equal. And then more seal, and we'll adhere that right onto the Seaside Spray. I love the blues and the purples together with this paper. I think it just is really, really stunning. All right, for the insert on our card, I'm going to take that piece of the 1 by what was it? 4 1/4. Add some seal. And I'm just going to put that here on the left edge of the insert. And then my little 3/4 by 3, I think that was a 3 3/4 inch piece. Let me double check. Yes. So 3/4 by 3 3/4. Add some seal. And I'm just going to give that this little contrast on the inside for our insert. Then let's bring in our ink. And I said I'm using the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to bring in my stitched circle and the mat. And then, like I said, the stamp that I'm using is When I See the Good in the World, I See You. And that's from that, it's called See the Good. So there's our sentiment. And before I put the ink away, I'm going to stamp our insert too. And as I had said earlier, I'm turning this into a thank you. So I'm just going to give my thank you sentiment. All right. So now I'm going to take and just add seal to the back of my stitched framelit, and I'm going to edge it with the Gorgeous Grape circle. Can you see that? You'll see it better when I put it on the front of the card. Using some of our Stampin' Dimensionals. And you guys, I want you to know that all the products today are available in my online store. I would love to have you as one of my VIPs. I consider all of my customers VIPs. And there's always fun stuff happening at Create with Brenda. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that bell. You'll get notifications of when I go live. So as what I'm doing here is I've got the tricolor ribbon, and I just think, like, look how beautifully this coordinates with this project. So is what I'm going to do is just take the end of it, and I know a lot of people aren't into tying bows, but is what I do is I tie it just like I tie my, just like you tie your shoes. And then just by pulling on the ends, you can adjust your, your little loops here for your bow to the size you want them. And then I always just give these a trim. All right. Then we have our glue dots. And I'm just going to pick up a glue dot off from the roll onto the back of my ribbon. And I'm going to add that right down here. And then we're so close. We get to embellish, which I think is my favorite part of stamping. But I'm going to add our sentiment here to the inside, or our insert to our card. Okay. And then, again, bringing in our take your pick tool, which is right here, and our pearls. So I'm going to use one of the darker purple. I'm going to use one of the little I call them seed pearls. They're so tiny. And those again are from the Pearls Basic Jewels. And let's use one of these kind of silver grays. I'll just put that right up there. So there's our card for today. Do you love it? Are you going to try it? Do you need product? Check out my online store. I'll put it in the description down below. And I'll list the products that I used today so you can easily add those to your next order. And with me, of course. Remember, a minimum $50 product order gets you a free Simply Chamois from me this month. Okay, so there's that. So we had this one that we just did. Then I have this one as an alternative. So this one I used the a die and bordered it. You know how you do that, how you extend, where I cut 2 extra purples and I cut 1 horizontal and 1 vertical so you can extend it out and put a little border on there. And then here's the other one. And this is in a different orientation, like I said. So this one actually opens this way. So I have You Are So Special. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. So it's basically the same card. You just, change your sentiment, change your dies. And I just put this down at the bottom instead of along the side. So I hope, like I said, I hope you'll give today's project a try. And again, all of the products are available for purchase in my online store. There is a really good reason for shopping at Create with Brenda. I offer exceptional customer service. I always have a monthly host code promotion going on. And if you're thinking about hosting a virtual event or a catalog party, I would be happy to help you with that so that you can earn free product through our Stampin' Rewards host program. All right, and I treat my hosts as well. You get a special little prize too. So, all right, everybody, have a good day, really good day. And I truly am glad you are in my life. Bye for now.